Falling into a pattern of trying to plan my life around what I think I should do instead of what I want to do. And the result has been that I haven't enjoyed my work. I haven't felt motivated to do anything. No achievements I have are ultimately fulfilling or sustainable. As soon as I hit a goal like that, as soon as I hit a new metric, I either lose interest completely or just shift the goalpost and raise the bar. So as soon as I get there, as soon as I do what I think I should be doing, I feel like I should be doing more. I should be doing more. That is to confuse busyness with progress, to confuse effort with output. Why the hell should you want to work harder in a vacuum? There's no inherent reason. There's no reason to work harder in itself. The reason you work hard is to achieve a certain outcome. So I've been trying to do what I should do. Where I should start is, what do I want? If you start with what you want to do, the path writes itself. When you really want to do it and you really commit to it and you embody it, this is what I want, this is going to happen, or I'm going to take the next step, the next inspired step. You might find somewhere along the journey that what you want is coming in a different form than you think. It doesn't look like you think. You might refine what you want and realize you actually wanted something else. But by going out there and moving towards it, you get so much closer than if you're just building it up in your head and trying to like ideate it and like think it through. The mind exists in the full context of like the world and your experience. The mind isn't just the thoughts you have in your head. Your mind is your full generated experience of the world. So when you're out there taking action with the intention of getting towards what you want, living a life you want, enjoying each of those steps, you start to create that life. You start to build on and actually change your environment and your world. You get new thoughts, and that's where progress in the world actually happens. When I decided to be a professional poker player, it took me 6 years before I made enough money in a year to cover my expenses from poker. Years 1 through 5, I didn't have any proof in terms of results that that was something I could do. What I did have was an understanding that it was possible, a deep desire to do it, and commitment. Every step along the way, even when I was losing, even when I was making mistakes, even when I wanted to quit, I knew that there was a way and I was going to find it. So even my missteps were helping me get on track. Even my losses were teaching me lessons that pay dividends to this day. Compare that to going in with no plan, fucking around and finding out. There's a chance that you have more or less the same experiences, you decide to become a pro later, you win, etc. But when you enter with very little experience, still with a beginner's mindset, but a professional mindset, I am playing poker in order to become a profitable poker player and hopefully a professional poker player. How do I learn what I can now, crush this game, take the next step? Learn what I can now, crush this game, take the next step. And if ever I was completely off course, or there were repeating patterns of, say, winning a bunch of money and then self-sabotaging and losing it back, I would see those patterns, try to get to the heart of the matter, and resolve it. Instead of viewing that as a brick wall that meant what I wanted to do was impossible, it was something that I needed to understand if I wanted to not be limited by it. If you really want to do something and you're not just a lunatic, like if you're actually passionate about something, if you know that it's sort of your calling, or you just have that drive, that passion for it, and you approach it intelligently and you commit to it so you don't get like deterred or quit through the ups and downs along the way, I think your odds of success are astronomically high. Like nearly 100% if you don't quit and you have the aptitude. Saying poker specifically. I think we can get lost along the way though, because say like we play and then we lose half our roll, or fear can get in our way. Fear and ego. So like say you go, okay, cool, I'm committed, I decide. I think some people then try to rush it. Where people go wrong is they go, okay, cool, I'm decided, now I should just win all the money automatically, right? Like, no, that's not how it works. You don't just decide and it magically gets easy. What happens is all of the same shit gets thrown at you, all of the same problems, and you handle them and you get stronger and you move forward. You make the most of the difficulties put in front of you. So it doesn't get easy by committing, it just becomes inevitable. It becomes the only option. So when it comes to actually like the long-term goal of getting where you want to be, or something I've noticed at live poker sessions, I've noticed in myself, I've noticed it in others, when someone no longer wants to be there, when they're ready to go home, or they're going to let how long they play be determined by like the next hand, like if I win this hand, I leave, next hand I lose, I go, I've got one buy-in left. They're not serious about locking in and making the most money they can playing poker that session. You know that for a fact. When people get shaky that way, when they get wobbly, when they lose that conviction in their eyes because they're tired or they're afraid, I don't know how much this is confirmation bias, but I certainly notice it, pick up on it, and go after those players. I know other sharp players do. And I even get the sense that players I wouldn't consider like incredibly sharp, dynamic players, I get the impression that they go for spots against people like that more often as well, as long as they're, paying attention themselves. It's sort of a natural dynamic of the game flow that when you lose face, when they can see you're not interested and you're not going to put up a decent defense or really cause them any problems fighting for your equity, they're going to try and run you over because they're going to make a bunch of money against you because you're not protecting your equity. You're not punishing them for their weaknesses. You're just neutral or losing. You're a pushover. You can't be a pushover. You have to commit, embody it, and then take the next inspired step from that place. And when you get whatever feedback from reality, take it on board, be open to it, but don't let it ultimately deter you.